Next question up is a pretty cool question about TRAC. It says, I've got a question about the subjective questions with TRAC. TRAC has pretty consistently told me to increase the volume, but I'm not sure if the information I'm giving it is appropriate. For example, on the subjective questions about motivation to train, I always put that I want to train because I truly feel that way. Even when I'm sore, I want to train because I enjoy it as my main hobby. I'm wondering if that's skewing the data as far as how TRAC thinks. No, I mean, that seems like a reasonable input to me. If you really want to train, then that's what you should put down. Trust me when I say that at a certain point, that can and probably will change. You know, I can tell you from my own personal experience, I mean, I love it. I've been doing it forever. But there are times when that motivation will decline, you know, and I just have to be perceptive to that. If that's not declining for you, then don't put that as an input. You know, do what you're doing. TRAC is trying to take a whole person concept, you know, so it's weighting those things like soreness and your overall perception of fatigue. It's weighting those things appropriately. If motivation to train never really changes much for you, you always pretty much want to train, then it's going to figure that out and it'll adjust those recommendations to fit. Now, I suspect if TRAC is telling you always to increase your volume, that's not the only thing going on. You know, yes, your motivation is high, but maybe you're not experiencing very much soreness and your perception of fatigue is pretty low, in which case, you know, you're probably pretty well recovered and can tolerate more work. If TRAC is telling you to increase your volume, you may want to consider doing that, especially if gains have been slow coming. If you're making progress without following that recommendation, ride the wave. You know, there will be a time that you can increase that volume later on.